So, Wiener-Dog.
Yeah, Wiener-Dog. Now, I've got to say, I was very excited for this film just because of the cast.
Yes.
Straight from the off, because it's got a few of our favourite people in it. It's got Greta Gerwig, and it's got Danny DeVito, and it's just got a generally good cast. I mean, so basically, Wiener-Dog features, it's just a little dashing puppy. A little wiener dog.
What we would call a sausage dog.
Yeah, a sausage dog. Which basically, it's sort of his life and times going from one owner to another, which is including two couples, a nurse played by Greta Gerwig as well, a screenwriter played by Danny DeVito, and a bitter old woman who's blind played by Ellen Burstyn. And it's sort of his just various different experiences going from one over to the other. And it's sort of just from one direction to the other. But it's not very, like, upbeat, is it?
No,
it's not. It uses the lens of the dog to explore very downbeat stories, and coming off the back of me absolutely adoring It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and seeing Danny DeVito showing he's always still got those dramatic chops to pull off this screenwriter story, which is extremely sad and ends on a note which I won't spoil.
No.
But it's just so strange because it keeps cutting back to this little dog, which is just so bright and happy, and then back to these little depressing stories, which are really surreal and really dark. And I mean, the last one with Ellen Burstyn especially is really
terrific.
It's surreal.
Mm-hmm.
It involves a dream near the end of it, and then it ends pretty much after that dream. But it's so surreal and bleak, and it makes you think like it's something very, very peculiar.
Yeah,
that's what I'll give it to it.
I think it would have worked. I mean, I certainly like the idea of having the dog being the focal point of four very different stories, only connected in that way. They all feel very unique. They've all got their own soundtrack as well. They've all got a different sort of piece of music that's attached to them, which I quite like. I think it's interesting. But I feel like we don't attach ourselves enough to them. I think the stories. There's probably enough in those stories to make them a bit longer and expand a bit more. I think as they are very self-contained and rather short, about 20 minutes apiece. We don't really. I mean, I kind of wanted more from each of them. There was definitely a lot more I wanted from each of the very distinct parts. I mean, Greta Gerwig's part with Kieran and Culkin.
Mm-hmm.
I dozed off. I mean, I get that Greta Gerwig is the sort of queen of mumblecore. That's kind of what she does. The very awkward situations, and I liked her performance. But the actual story within it wasn't that engaging. But I feel like it could have been if we'd learned a little bit more. And then with the story, the first bit with the young boy who first gets the dog. I thought that was going to have a very important moral message, was Julie Delpy.
Yeah.
But again, I want to see more. I think DeVito's was my favourite. I think Ellen Burstyn's was the most impressive. But as with all of them, I think there could have been more, and it might have been a bit more fleshed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like how it was basically like the darkest of black comedy.
Well,
it was very bleak and nihilist, and
I've seen Todd Solondz described as a nihilist, and I was like,
well, I mean, Greta Gerwig's character in this first appeared in his 1995 film Welcome to the Dollhouse, so it's sort of a.
Still not to say that one, but if you want to get a true taste of his film, I've only seen one of them. It's Happiness. Oh boy,
not very happy, I imagine.
Like I said before, only two films have made me feel like a film was on for about nearly 2 hours and it's only been like 30 minutes.
What's the other one?
Come and see.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I had a few laughs, and I liked how nihilist it was at times, but it's I love
the way it was shot. It was shot by Ed Lachman, who did Carol.
Oh, there you go.
So you had those really nice static shots. A lot of the scenes are just static shots. Kind of in the same way as Roy Andersson stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The way
definitely.
it just sort of sits back and captures the craziness that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And then the nice colour things that Lachman does.
Yeah.
Very fantastic. But
really good with it.
I as a whole, I liked it, but I kind of wanted more.
Yeah, I did want more, but I enjoyed it for what it was.
I mean, the ending, which we're not going to say. I mean, that is just
the icing on the dark cake.
If we'd seen 9 Lives and then Wiener-Dog, I don't think we'd be here right now.
No,
I think we'd be in a bar somewhere.
I think I'd be locked in the cellar, just crying.
Yeah, rocking backwards and
forwards.
So yeah, Wiener-Dog. It's dark, but
I'd recommend
it's
it.
I'd recommend
it's something
it
very different.
I'd recommend it as
an
well.
Offbeat.